Content warning. Echo can be emotionally intense experience and may not be for everyone. Echo contains themes of adult nature, including violence, torture, drug usage, and harsh language. Viewer discretion is advised. Ugh. The Tell Me brothers directed those ones. They tried way too hard to be edgy and action-packed, completely ignored proper categorization. Like Lieutenant Gamakura firing the plasma emitter at the Forbasian ambassador. She's completely non-violent in the original series. She took a vow of peaceful resolution following the violence cascade that destroyed her homeworld in the first season. But the writers just thought it would look cool for the trailers if they showed her disintegrating a guy while screaming her head off. I really like the thought-provoking philosophical stuff, not the protagonist running around killing people. Jackson huffs, rubbing his fist against smooth brow. I'm not sure exactly how to respond. Yeah, that's pretty not great when that happens. I like the space battles though. Of course, they were made to appeal to casual audience. I blink. Daxon quickly holds a hand, his eyes widening. Oh, I didn't mean it as an insult or anything. No offense taken. I offer him a reassuring nod, taking a bite of the steamed veggies. They certainly tasted fresh. Flynn must have gotten these from Peyton. Daxon's stuck having to deal with us filthy casuals tonight. Again, I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. No, I know what you mean. You dig it because you grew up with the original shit, and you have all sorts of fuzzy feelings about it. I'm actually kind of surprised to hear Flynn chime in. Yeah, I mean, looking back, the original series is pretty dumb and cheesy. But if it wasn't for you when you were a kid, or the tidderts who watched it back in the 60s. Yeah, dude, back when we were kids, Leo's dad would get us all a bunch of random VHS tapes from the thrift shop in Coville every now and then. Like really dumb kung fu movies or straight to video slasher fix. It didn't really matter if they were R-rated. Sometimes on summer nights we'd gather at Leo's place just to watch a bunch of them until almost morning. They were all terrible. It was great. Find myself smiling a bit. I'd almost forgotten about all that. Oh geez. Flynn would always get super into them. He would yell at a screen every time the character did something stupid. Carl chuckles into his paw, grinning toothily at the Gilla. Oh man, you get so buttered. You start stomping around and slamming Leo's cabinets until you get in trouble. Flynn looks off to the side. If lizards could blush, I'm almost certain he'd be doing that now. Whenever there was someone with a gun on screen, they never had any trigger discipline and completely held their guns wrong. And every movie, someone was being chased by some kill or whatever, they completely forget how to run. Oh my god, I'm Flynn. That's me during freaking movies. Oh yeah, you kept count of how many times everyone tripped. You had a little notepad with you, trip tally. Daxton looks absolutely tickled by this revelation of Flynn. That sounds hilarious. I wish I had friends like you growing up, so I could do that sort of thing. Flynn waves dismissively. It was alright. I remember we could never do it when TJ was around. Satanic propaganda and all that, right? He would have been fine with it if we eased him into it. We could have started off with Bloodfire Babes of Babylon. Carl nods eagerly, sipping at the last bit of beer before getting up to retrieve another from the fridge. So, Flynn, you wanna... Yeah, maybe. Daxton looks pretty elated. The amphibian's slightly chubby cheeks puffed up some as he grins. I know of some really shockly episodes from the first few seasons of the original series. I'll put those on. Sounds good, dude. Daxton sets his plate down fast walking to the TV in the living room. After a moment, Carl looks over at me. Nerd alert. Flynn goes to the side now, slide his now empty plate into the sink, slapping Carl in the back of the head as he passes. Fucking rich coming from you, neckbeard ass. Hey! I mean it endearingly. Across the room, Daxton waves at us. Hey, I think I got it. The internet is kind of slow here because it's satellite, but it suffices. Flynn meanders over, lounging on the love seat on the left side of the living room. His tail stature results in his leg hanging far over the edge, the lizard scratching his exposed chest with a yawn. He cranes his long neck to look back at me and Carl. You two tits are gonna sit all the way back there? Hold on, I'm coming. Carl gives me a little nudge and we follow suit, beers and grasp. Looking at Flynn now, I realize that part of me wishes I could go over there and lay beside him. More practically, I sit in the recliner in the center of the room while Carl and Dax take the other sofa. Okay, so in this episode, Captain Amicus lands on the planet in the year 1968. He's looking for technology to stop the uprising in the future, but Dax, shut up. No spoilers, dude. All right, fine. Captain Amicus, the slime women, they're in the engine room. This leaves me no choice, cadet. Activating self-destruct protocol Baker 19. But Captain, there's no time to debate. Get to the escape pods. Captain, the test results just came in. They aren't slime women. They're cell women. They're multiplying as a result of some sort of cancer-like phenomenon. My God, cadet, this changes everything. Deactivate the self-destruct protocol. If these cells are if these are cells, then our ship is one sick patient. Cadet, flood emergent engineering with radiation pulses at 3-second intervals. Maximum output. I still don't understand why the cell women have tits. Why are the women in the first place? Why are they women in the first place? Or why are they lady officers? Why all the lady officers don't wear pants? Kyle takes another glug of beer, this beginning his third and so far from my count. I said I was going to show you the bad ones, guys. Daxon looks a bit defensive, leaning forward on the edge of his seat, his plump tail wrapped around his armrest. Carl idly chucks a throw pillow at the salamander. I'm not complaining, dude. He laughs a little and Daxon eases, chucking it back at him with a bit more force. Carl takes the blow like a champ in that regard that he doesn't even react beyond smiling goofily. It's surprising to see Carl comfortable like this around a stranger. I can't help but feel kind of happy he can still come out of his shell every now and then. It's fucking dumb. How does anyone take this shit seriously? You don't. They certainly aren't. We aren't. We certainly aren't. I glance over towards Flynn, who's digging in his pockets for his phone. He taps the unlock button, squinting at the bright screen, the black and orange scales on his face seeming glow silver and yellow in the light. I find myself leaning forward a little, trying to read the tiny text on the screen. It takes me a moment to realize that Flynn isn't looking at a screen anymore. He's looking at me. He huffs, moving the screen away from my view before beginning to text something. Is it? No, it's not Leo. Flynn stares at his phone, some sort of expectant expression upon his muzzle. Hey, I don't mean to be prying and such, but who's Leo? Daxon seems to be asking me this. My ex. Flynn glances back for a moment, though says nothing. Oh, Leo's a guy? Yeah. Cool. Salamander frowns in acknowledging fashion, nodding his head some before refocusing his attention back at the TV. Captain Amicus is in the midst of battling attacked by the slime women. Even with the prosthetics and lighting, I could tell that all the slime women are actually just a bunch of amphibians in green body paint. Flynn's phone vibrates again. He taps it, clearly not really much for a fast texter. After finishing his text, he hastily shoves the phone back into his pocket. I'm heading out. He pushes himself off the couch, unruffling his shirt, before meandering over towards a bowl in the kitchen to get his truck keys. Oh, excuse me. Wait, what? Oh, come on, Slithhead. Daxon briefly smirks at Carl's turn before secondary. Yeah, this is actually pretty fun. Where are you going? Out. Should go back to the motel before the others start bitching. I feel my face grow hot, my fists starting to clench. Okay, maybe drop the mysterious act, asshole? Flynn just heads off to the front door, swatting his tail against the kitchen island and flicking me off as he exits. Flynn! He's out the door without further comment, and I can hear the chirping sound of his truck outside as he unlocks it. Fucking moody, right? Think something's up with him? Carl shakes his head. Nah, he's just trying to look cool. It isn't working. Dude gets uncomfortable with casual social stuff, I think. He's 25 years old. That's bullshit. If she just be straight with me. Daxon snickers, though quietly shakes his head, stifling it. What? If it was being straight with you, you wouldn't be getting so pissed about this, I think. Straight as in you two not macking on each other. I get it. I sigh, letting myself sink back into the suede fabric on the chair. It automatically reclined for me the more pressure I put upon it. I'm starting to regret Carl finding out about this. If he didn't know, it wouldn't be so much of a thing. It would have been easier just to pretend it never happened in the first place, and I wouldn't have to deal with lying to the guy I loved for most of my teenage life. I'm gonna hit play again. If that's all right. I'm staring at the ceiling now, but I can feel them both looking at me. Go ahead. I'm just gonna close my eyes for a little while, okay? Gotcha, dude. We'll wake you if something cool happens. So we'll wake you in the morning. I'm gonna get a beer, BRB. I shut my eyes and hear the trademark Adastra music resume. A large paw gently pats my shoulder, followed by an audible hoof clop to the kitchen behind me. I stare up at the unmoving ceiling fan above me in the dark. Everything looks all grainy. It seems like the lights are still on, but the dimmer is low. They might as well not be. Must be a salamander thing? Speaking of, him and Carl aren't here anymore? I try to recollect how much time has passed since I closed my eyes. It feels like a minute ago. As I raise to stand, I feel sluggish for some reason, like my legs are asleep. My face feels kind of numb, too. I always feel worse after taking naps. I'm not really sure I get the appeal of taking them once a day like my mom does. Moving to the nearby window, I squint at my reflection. I look like hell. And who shaved off my goatee? I blink, it's still not there. I'm not that heavy of a sleeper, so I would have felt someone doing that. I don't think Carl's that cruel, is he? I turn, peering towards Daxon's room. His door's open and his bed is empty. They left me here? Why? My phone vibrates in my pocket. It's Leo. I'm coming. What? I'm back, though I seem to have caught a case of the Flynn. My texting dexterity is awfully awful right now. Everyone left. I think I'm alone at Flynn's now. While I'm at it, I've sent a quick text to Carl and Flynn asking where they are. Vitamin comes from the kitchen after I sent Flynn a message. He must have left it when he went out. When I walk into the kitchen, I see a phone propped up against the key bowl and an island countertop that Flynn swatted earlier. The screen's brightness illuminates everything around it with a picture of my face. In low resolution, like he cropped and stretched it himself from one of my social media pictures. The photo is of the class trip I took sophomore year to cardboard caverns. I was wearing a hard hat that doesn't fit. The way the phone is propped up, it almost looks like it's on display. It's a weird ways to place it. I know I shouldn't snoop through his phone, but if he wants to act all mysterious and dismissive, he's leaving me no choice. Also, someone shaved my goatee off. That warrants enough of an emergency, right? I tap the screen and my message appears. I'm asking him where he is and telling him that everyone left. Tapping back, I see another message. The rest seem to have been deleted. It's from someone named Ryan. He was given no profile picture. The bars at 33 South Alloway off of Hankley and Route 93. Winky phrase? Hankley 93? I think that's by the casino near the edge of the reservation. Spend most of my days looking at a map of the most of my day looking at the map of the county, so I have a good spatial sense of where it is now. The question is, why did Flynn leave this here with just this message on it? Like he wanted me to find it. He wanted me to follow him. Jesus, does he think I'm that much of a snoop? Because apparently I am. This time it's my phone that buzzes. Another message from Leo. Hey. Huh? I type a quick response. Hey, I have to go. Sorry, Leo. I shove my phone back into my pocket and head outside. It's actually nippy out in comparison to the heat of the day. Clouding covers about half of the sky above, and there's a tinge of humidity in the air, which is surprising. We get less than an inch of rain this time of year. Another text? Leo again. Are you serious? I sigh, putting my phone back and getting my keys out. I'll think of something and apologize later. I don't feel like I don't feel nearly as sluggish as I did before, thankfully. Once inside my car, I put the keys in ignition, though, to keep the inside lights on while I fiddle with the GPS. 33 South Alloway. Got it. Looks like it'll be about 22-minute drive according to the thingy. Dude, where are you going? I look over. Carl and Daxton are staring at me through the passenger window, concerned expression on their faces. Well, concerned expression on Daxton's face. Carl looks drunk. What? Where have you guys been? With you? Why the hell did you guys shave off my goatee? Dude, are you like allergic to Havarti or something? It was actually Gorgonzola. The Havarti Flynn wanted was sketchy. Carl smiles lopsidedly at Daxton. Dastardly. What are you... I reach up to grab my chin, feeling the familiar scruffs of dark brown hair upon my paw pads. I feel my heart start to thump heavy in my chest. What the hell? Daxton opens the passenger door. You sure you should be driving? You're kind of wigging out, no offense. I angled the rearview mirror down towards me. Sure enough, there it is on my chin. I'm sorry, I could have sworn that it was missing earlier. Well, you were sleeping. It could have been a nightmare? I read about this stuff online. It's your subconscious playing on your deepest desires, man. Carl slurs some, looking a mix of dazed and chipper. I don't think so, Carl. But look, are you guys coming with me? I think Flynn wanted us to follow him. Yeah, we saw the message. They did? I don't know. He's kind of a private guy. If we're wrong, he's gonna be pissed. We could think of it like an away mission. Even in the dark, I could practically feel Daxton cringe. Oh God, Carl. I don't know. I'll go with you, but I'll hang back in the car. I'm still a bit reeling from the whole facial fiasco, but the banter is making me feel better. Well, you could be tactical support. This is why I don't usually share my interests with other people. Carl clambers into the back seat first, nearly toppling over. Daxton climbs up front, a little tipsy, but he seems to have most of his motor functions intact. Lucky I don't have classes on Fridays. I squint, trying to peer beyond what is illuminated by the headlights. Driving feels difficult right now. My nerves are kind of fried, tingling breath under my fur. I end up overcorrecting on every slight turn. It doesn't help that this shitty state highway is so meandering and completely devoid of light. Out here, even in the main stretch of road sidewinds around the hills and mountains. I guess I'm used to Pueblo where they just flatten or tunnel through everything. My issues right now also might be steaming from the fact that I'm still a little inebriated and driving. Fuck, I used to be so damn hard on Leo whenever he drank and drive. Now here I am. Maybe I should have brought my meds. Veer right in 1 mile. Chase. Huh? I loosen my grip on the wheels, peering in the rearview mirror, catching a glint of Carl's green eyes looking back at me. This feels familiar, don't it? I furrow my brows. I'm not sure what he means. We were both just starting high school. Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Carl doesn't respond, and silence follows. He stares out the window with his gaze lulled, his phone sitting idle in his lap. Daxton looking curiously at us now, though when neither of us speaks up, he goes back to picking at the planet print on his shirt. I feel like I'm I feel kind of like I'm sneaking out to go to a party or something. Oh my God, hot mouth. Oh my God. Oh. He looks at me with a slight smile. Well, you might be. We're going to arrive at this address, find Flynn in a gimp suit surrounded by a warehouse full of rubber ducks. Carl lets out a quiet, humble rumble of snicker. Yeah, man, this is like all real familiar. We pass the flat concrete pad where an old gas station once stood. Again, I think Carl's about to speak, but he says nothing. I don't get out much, you know. Around here, there's not much to get out to. The salamander rolls his shoulders and shakes his head. I could always drive to Payton. I've got my scooter. It just doesn't feel worth it, you know? I mean, Not just gas or monetary reasons. It just isn't comfortable to be away from home. I got basically everything I need. And I got that Prime delivery account that drops off groceries on my doorstep. It's weird how easy it is to feel like that's normal. I surrounded myself with TV, books, video games, and the fact that I'm alone in the middle of the desert doesn't even affect me. You got Flynn for company, don't you? We keep to our separate sides of the house usually. Sometimes almost a whole week goes by without me actually seeing him. There's always the internet, dude. You got online friends and all that stuff for gaming, right? Daxon adjusts his seat, giving himself more legroom. I post on a fan forum pretty regularly. I'm moderator. Let me guess, for Adastra. Yep. Give me your phone. Daxon blinks. What? Carl makes a grabby motion. Oh, he's so cute. He's a cute drunk. Just give it for 1 second. Daxon clutches his cell to his chest, looking uneasily towards the drunken ram. Don't worry, I'm not gonna go through your messages or your nudie pics. Who do you think I am, Chase? That one stings a bit. Ass. Daxon slowly relents, keeping a close eye on Carl as he gives him his phone. He taps at it for silence for 15 seconds before passing it back. There, you got me in your contacts. I also put my username for games and stuff if you ever want to play together on the PC. Oh, thanks. Salamander quickly checks the screen before looking back at Carl. I'll send you a message or something when I get home if you ever want a game, or if I need a hookup with some ice cream. Carl makes a flubbering noise with his mouth. Ice cream boy, at your service, dude, man. Service. Daxon titters some, shaking his head. Just kidding with the last part. I would never do that. I mean, you must get sick of hearing that all the time. Carl shakes his head, even after he begins speaking. Nah, I don't like tell people that shit very often. Because it's, you know? Though, I totally will hook you up. I used to do that for Flynn and Leo, but then Flynn went on his old health food bullshit. And Leo, I don't know, he just stopped asking. You're right. My arms stiffen and I swerve onto the off-ramp with more gusto than I meant. I feel the other's eyes on me and I try to act casual. Looks like this is it up ahead.